Man, what's good, faithful? Week 1 is in the books. Got the dub, 1-0. Looking good, man. I really like what we did. I felt like this was going to happen. I never was too worried about the Jets, They got Aaron Rodgers and whatnot, and Brees Hall and Garrett Wilson, but after that, it's a huge drop-off for me. So, got the W, looking good. Bang, bang, 1-0. On to the next. Let's talk about a few things, though, before we get to this next one. First thing, man, look, I'm a new YouTube channel. A lot of y'all don't know me, but if you're on the 49ers Faithful page on Facebook, then you're familiar with me and the things I talk about and some of the things I write about. So, I believe you're familiar with me. But to those that aren't, man, I'm a huge 49er fan. I'm not looking to be monetized. I'm not looking to make money. I'm just looking to have engaging conversations about the team that we love. So if you're down with that, just get down with me, man. You know what I mean? I have a job, a 9 to 5, so sometimes, I'm not going to be able to get on and do things when I want to. But for the most part, we're going to get it in. So subscribe, check out the page, man. I appreciate y'all. Like I said, we're going to have a lot of fun with it. Niners are the best team in the league, so we're going to be talking a lot of shit and just, poking our chest out a lot. I imagine that's going to happen a lot of times on Victory Mondays or Victory Tuesdays or Victory Fridays. So just get used to it, guys. This is what we're doing. But let's just start going into this, man. Let's talk about some stuff, right? Let's talk about for me, there was two very, very big impressive things that happened. Obviously, Jordan Mason, man, that boy balled his ass off. And, he had 28 carries, 147 yards, 1 touchdown. Very impressive against the best defense in the NFL, or so they thought. Jordan Mason had a huge day, but you know what? A lot of us Niners already knew he was capable of this. We didn't know for sure, he can just go out like that. But we've been watching him. We've seen him get his opportunities, and we knew that he was for real and that he's a dog. We call him Mini Marshawn over here. And he showed y'all last night why he's a dog and why we call him Mini Marshawn. The national media, everybody's like, oh my God, who is this guy? He's undrafted. Yo, we've been knowing about him. He's just showing up, showing out, and showing the world what he's about. And I'm proud of the guy. I'm happy for him. You know what I mean? To be undrafted, be behind Christian McCaffrey and to get that opportunity and do that well, man, beautiful, right? Beautiful. So shout out to Jordan Mason. You did your thing. We're going to need you all season, because I got a feeling, this McCaffrey thing is going to linger, and it's going to be, they're going to pick and choose some games that they want him to sit out, especially now that they see Jordan Mason can get the job done. So shout out to you, man. Great job. Bang, bang. The other thing, it's 1A and 1B for me. 1B is Jake Moody. I mean, I've heard so much criticism over this kid since he became a Niner, since he was drafted. So many people had so many things to say about him. He missed a field goal against Cleveland last year to win the game, and we lost. That's pretty much the only bad situation he's had, in my opinion. I know he had a extra point blocked in the Super Bowl, but if that's all you're telling me was one game as a rookie, I don't understand where the criticism comes from, man. He's a very good kicker, and he showed up. He showed us why he is, and he showed us why the Niners took him in the 3rd round last year, and he hit 6 for 6. And one thing I really liked about it too is he hit a couple of touchbacks. Those were important, man. So you got to understand those touchbacks, especially with this new era of kickoffs. If you get a touchback, that's good, man. So shout out to Jake Moody. The boy went 6 for 6. He's on his way. I try to tell y'all he was one of my keys to victory. I know it's not sexy to talk about the kicker, and no one wants to hear about that. But look, I'm all about winning, and I try to understand what gives us an edge. And right now, and for the game yesterday, I knew that he was going to give us an edge, and he did. He showed up. He hit 6 out of 6. So good, shout out to him too. Shout out to Mason and Moody, Double M, Eminem. They did their damn thing, man. And if we're going to win this Super Bowl like I know we will, we're going to need both of them to show up. Jake you're going to have to be consistent every game. Mason, you're going to get your spots. And when you get your spots, you better be ready. And you already showed us that you are. So I ain't mad at that, man. We did our thing. On to the next topic real quick, man, is our guy, Brock Purdy. Brocculus Perdicius. I like to call him. He's a Greek god. He's not from this world, man. He's not from this world. You know what I mean? Like, I try to tell people, Brock Purdy is top 3, and he's not number 3. All right? So unless your name is Patrick Mahomes, you're not better than Brock Purdy. That's just what it goes. That's just how it is, man. Numbers don't lie. People do. Haters do. Analysts do. You know, you go on ESPN, they're going to be hating. They're not going to give him his props. But to the 49er fans like myself that watch every single game, every single snap, we have seen what this guy does and what he brings. So you can miss us with all this system quarterback and Kyle Shanahan system. Like, miss us. We watch every play, and we see what he does every play. The boy is elite. Not top 3. I'm sorry. He is top 3, but he's not number 3. Keep that in mind, because you're going to be hearing that a lot this year. I'm going to be pushing this down your throats because of all the disrespect Purdy has gotten over his first few years. They don't want to give him his props. But look, he going to take it. So we don't give a damn what y'all got to say about him. Purdy, top 3. Next thing I want to talk about from last night's game, Debo. I knew it was going to be a big Debo game, but once I saw McCaffrey was out, I knew, okay, it's going to be even more of a Debo game. And they kind of showed us that. I think he had about 8 touches. Let me see. I wrote this down. He had 8 touches 8 rushes for 23 yards, 5 receptions, 54 yards. So a total of 13 touches for 77 yards and 1 touchdown. That's not eye-popping numbers. But when you're in a game against a top-tier defensive team, you know, you're going to need somebody to step up. And Mason stepped up, but, of course, Debo did. He was heavily involved in the game plan, and he did what he had to do. He was basically the backup running back and wide receiver 2, 3, maybe 1. But, you know, bottom line is he got his touches, and he showed us why he's going to be so important for us going forward. You know, Debo had a great camp. He looked great. Everyone was ranting and raving about how great he came in shape. He's a captain. So, you know, he's on, and he's not looking to take a step back. We're going to see an all-pro level type of performance from Debo this season. Now, when you have so many weapons as we do, sure, his numbers may not be eye-popping, but when his number is called, he's going to get the job done, just like he did last night. And, you know, we're in good hands. And the other guy I want to talk about is what? Third and Juwan, right? He always comes through for us. I mean, it's just a given. Like he's like, if you're going to play some numbers in the lotto, play his, because he's just a given. He always gets the job done. He's been known as a third and Juwan guy, but I got a feeling this year he's going to be more of a first, second, or third down type of receiver. You know, he has shown that he is ready for it. He's as physical as any wide receiver in the league. His hands are very good at this stage. He catches the ball, and he gets a lot of yards after carry. A lot of people think of Yak. When they think of Yak in the 49ers, they think about Kittle. They think about Debo. They think about Ayuk. They think about Christian McCaffrey. But guess who else is up there with the Yak? Third and Juwan. And eventually we're going to have to take that third and Juwan tag off of him, because he's showing himself to be more than just a third down type of receiver. And he has a slight ankle injury, so we got to hope that that's okay. But I believe he will. And, you know, get ready for next week. And speaking of receivers, you know, Ayuk, the big story of the offseason. Everybody had an opinion on Ayuk. Everybody wanted him to do what they wanted him to do. Even myself, I got frustrated at the end, just because you know he's an elite talent. You know what I mean? If you've been around this game long enough and you've been watching your Niners long enough, you understand how much of an elite wide receiver Brandon Ayuk is, and how we haven't had one since Terrell Owens, right? So we have one now. So we did not want to lose this guy. I told y'all we wasn't going to lose him. I laughed at Pittsburgh. I laughed at Cleveland. I laughed at everybody because it's like the dude ain't leaving. He wants to win. He just wants money. So he got his money, and now it's time to win. And he had his first game. He had a touchdown drop. A lot of fans were on him tough because of that. I even seen Peyton Manning speaking on it. And that's understandable. You need to catch that, Ayuk. But at the same time, guys, we won. We dominated. And Ayuk he's rusty. He's knocking the rust off. This is what happens, unfortunately, when you go deep into, all season for contract negotiations. You get to a point where you may miss some time. And we saw it with Debo in his contract year. We saw it with Bosa in his contract year. So this happens. And the thing is, though, I believe, with Ayuk, the guys I just mentioned before, they're very physical. They're very, it's about timing. And same with Ayuk, but he's physical as well. But he's a true wide receiver, so he's gonna be just fine. Next game, in game 3, game 4, he's gonna be just fine. Game 1 was just like his preseason, his practice for him, and he was a little rusty, and that's okay. He missed, he dropped a touchdown pass. We didn't need it, but we won. So, hey, all the Ayuk haters, just chill out, man. I can't believe how some of our fans be so, quick to criticize and down our players, like our key players. People that have played their heart out, their heart and soul. They've cried for this team. You know what I mean? Like, Ayuk he was drafted, but he didn't just get on the field just because of his name or because we wanted to. He got on the field, and he's who he is now because of the work he's put in. He's dedicated himself to being one of the best wide receivers in the game, and he's there. He's ascending. He's about to hit his prime with Brock. So it's like, chill out, man. Don't be hating on our guy, man. If you a Niner, how the hell you gonna hate on Brandon Ayuk? Like, let me go to your job and see what your numbers look like. Let's see if you performing. If you getting 10 out of 10s on your yearly performance. But you can't even catch a cold if you was in Alaska and you died into the ocean and got out, and for 12 hours and stood there. You still couldn't catch a cold. So you want to talk about a man catching a pass? And come on, man, y'all be tripping. Just chill out on that, man. Ayuk is our guy, and he's gonna be there for a minute, And next guy I want to talk on, man, is our guy Pooney. Like, the 49ers struck gold in the draft with him. We've been searching for and wanting and praying for a offensive lineman other than Trent Williams. And we have one. Pooney, just go watch the tape on him. Go watch his tape, how he gets to the second level. Go watch his tape against Quentin Williams last night. I mean, Quentin Williams is one of the best top 3 defensive linemen possibly in the league. Top 5. And Pooney held his own. And he's a rookie. So he's just going to get better. So we're in good hands, man. I saw a lot of good things at our offensive line. They created holes for Mason. I can't remember the stat. I should have wrote it down and been prepared for this. But Mason, he had between him and I believe it, gosh, I can't remember who the other guy was. But I can go look it up and update this. But Mason had the second most yards before he was touched for this whole weekend, with a rush. So basically meaning every time he got the ball handed off, before he was touched, his average was second in the league. That's amazing. And when I was watching Brock Purdy get back to pass, other than 3-4 that I can remember, he had time. He had time, and the offensive line looked great. I think that that we finally hit on a draft pick for our lineman, and he's gonna be our offensive lineman for at least 5-6 years to come, man. He's looking like he's legit, and he's gonna be that guy. And heading into next week, one of the things I'm excited about, and I don't know if he's gonna play, but he'll be here soon. Whether it's next week or the Rams, I'm going to that Rams game in LA. I'll see y'all there. We'll be talking more about that coming up, but let's go. We gonna do that for that Rams game. But anyways. Hufanga, he's on his way back, guys. And, Coach said today that he's day-to-day for the most part. He's going to practice. They're going to see how he looks. And if he's ready, they're gonna put him out there next Sunday against the Vikings. I mean, I'm in no rush. After I seen how great our defense played last week, there's no rush. So all that means is the rich is going to get richer. We're going to get Hufanga back. We're going to get Christian McCaffrey back. Some point we're gonna get Greenlaw back. It's just gonna be the rich getting richer, man. And it's a great time to be a Niner fan. I hope y'all enjoyed last game, because that's just the first game against supposedly one of the best teams in the NFL, supposedly one of the best defenses in the NFL, and it didn't look like it to me. That's because that's what we do to them. So speaking of what we did to them and how we handle our business, let's talk about this real quick, man. The West Coast bias. Right? The national media, these pundits, these people that talk, that get paid to talk about football, and they're wrong most of the time, and they still get to keep their jobs. I mean, I kind of admire them. Like, you guys fucking suck. You always are wrong. You have horrible takes. Had horrible takes on Purdy. You have horrible takes on the 49ers. But you still have your job, and you get to keep it. So shout out to you guys, Grant Cohn. You know what I mean? Shout out to y'all, man. But anyways, back to what I was saying, man. The West Coast bias is crazy, because I believe, I touched on it earlier. As Niner fans, we watch all games. We watch everything that's happening. We have a pulse on our team. And one of the things is when you're as good as we are, you get put on a lot of national televised games, Monday nights, Thursday nights, Sunday nights. So you get those games, right? But a lot of these people that are watching us, and a lot of these pundits that are watching us and breaking us down, this is their first time. They're only going to watch 1 or 2 full games of us the whole season. They don't sit there. They have too, nothing against them, but they have too many games they got to cover and know everything about every game that happens. So they only take highlights. They only take talking points. They only take certain things when they look at, what they want to say about our team. And the thing for me is, it's the West Coast bias. We play late, even our Monday nighter, we play late. We just play late, and most of our games are when these other teams and these pundits, they're not watching us. They're looking at everything else, and they're getting their highlights, and they're getting some shit fed to them, and then they're going on air and they're saying things like, I believe the Jets are gonna beat the 49ers tonight. Oh man, Aaron Rodgers is back, and he's gonna be looking to get even. And I seen a lot of people picking the Jets, man, and I just was like, why? What the hell are y'all seeing that I'm not seeing? But it's that West Coast bias. They just don't want to just put us there. They just don't, and that's fine. Like, who gives a damn? You don't gotta put us anywhere. Because at the end of the day, we are a top 3 team. We're top, if not the top team. I'm not going to disrespect the Chiefs, because I saw their game. I like what I saw. You know what I mean? They got our number. They beat us in Super Bowls. So the only team I'm not gonna knock is the Chiefs. Anybody else, man, y'all can't see us, man. You know what I mean? So the West Coast bias is crazy. It's just, to me, it's because they don't watch our games. They don't get to see every single play. They don't see how Brock Purdy operates every play of the game. They just see the highlights that are sent to them, and then they make an opinion, and they come out and they say this and that, and that's cool. But us Niners, we gonna talk about it. We gonna let y'all know how good our guys are, whether you believe it or not. If you don't believe it, that's your problem, not mine. Because we know, we seen it. We seen the tape. We watched the game. We watch every play. So if you don't get it, that's on you. That's your bad as an analyst. You know what I mean? So, and we gonna get into wrapping this up, man. I'm going on a rant, but I love this shit, man. I love talking about the Niners, and I know most of y'all aren't gonna watch all of this, so I'm gonna chop it up for y'all and give y'all some key highlights of this of this post I'm gonna do. So one of the last things I want to talk about is Shanahan, the effect he has on running backs. Right, a lot of people don't understand. This is what the Shanahans do. See, I'm old enough. A lot of y'all might not be, but I'm old enough to understand his father, Mike Shanahan. I lived in Denver in them late 90s when he was a coach of Denver. I seen all those 1,000-yard rushers. I saw it. I seen them just plug and play. I seen it. And the one cut, and I saw all of this. So I understand that this isn't nothing new for the Shanahans. This is actually normal. So don't be so surprised that Mason, when he finally got his opportunity, put up those numbers, because the chances are, if he had to keep going, he's going to continue to get these types of numbers. That's just the Shanahan offense. They are great at scheming a run, and that's just what they do. So don't trip. We good, you know what I mean? And the last thing, we headed into Minnesota, baby. I did my 3 breakdowns last week. I was on vacation, so I couldn't do videos and do it like I like to, but I'm back. I'm off vacation, and I'm gonna be able to do some thorough breakdowns and get with y'all. So just be ready. But we about to play Minnesota. We have revenge on our mind. We got some unfinished business. They beat us last year, right? Monday Night Football. They beat us, but guess what? They ain't beating us this time. They're not beating us Sunday. We're gonna smack them boys. I'm gonna break down all of that for y'all, and we gonna get it. So look, I'm gonna get out of here, man. Like, subscribe, comment, do all of that for me, man. I'm trying to get it up. It's the boy AB from the Beta LA. We gonna get this. We on a quest for 6. 1-0, about to be 2-0. Bang bang. Throw them T's.